Alright you guys, like I promised, now I'm going to do a video of setting up a tent for the first time. So the actual taking everything out, getting all the ropes set up. I cut all the piping or the frame, so everything's ready to go. We're just gonna get this baby put up. I can't wait, super excited. I'm sure it's gonna take me quite a bit longer setting it up for the first time, but it should go pretty quick after all the guidelines and all that stuff are set up and ready to go. Honestly, it shouldn't even take maybe 30 minutes at the most to set it up by yourself, and obviously a lot quicker when you do end up having some help at camp. So without further ado, let's get this baby going. Should mention that I went ahead and purchased a large tote. See it right here behind me. My buddy has the exact same tent, and he found a Husky tote with handle and wheels. They were out of that particular one, and I went and got the next closest thing to the one my buddy has, which is a DeWalt, and it's a little bit bigger than his, which might make it somewhat easier to fit everything in there. So really easy to move around. Yeah, you definitely want to get yourself some sort of tote just for keeping it, safe from critters or whatever, mice and whatever else. Obviously the biggest thing is you don't want to put it in there wet or damp, so you'll want to make sure it's 100% dry before you store it in that bin. But anyways, let's get going with this. So first things first, you want to set up the frame and all the corners, and you want to do the roof part first. You lay the tent over it, and then you go ahead and put the legs in. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, in the bag with all the corners or the angles are your rubber feet for the poles, for the legs of the tent, and obviously this goes on the bottom so you don't risk the pole cutting your skirt of your tent. So pretty cool that they included these. Okay, so I did all the ridges, the top ridge and the two sides, and then I'm gonna get the rafters, which are the longest poles. They're the 7-foot 10-inch poles, and there's gonna be 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 per side. So do one side first, then the other, obviously. Alright, as you can tell, the roof is done, and because it's easiest right now to reach the top, this is when you want to actually put the tent on. And the main thing is, you'll want to make sure, here I'll show you guys, you'll want to make sure that the front door lines up with this angle bracket right here. Note this threaded screw here. There's one on the back of the tent that looks like this. So this is the back of the tent, that's the front, and it seems like these guys have had some issues with customers not following the instructions. You'll want to make sure on this particular one that this part is actually inside the tent. Okay, and they even made a note right here. See, tent, inside the tent. Okay, so just a little side note, you want to make sure you do that. Okay, so I unfolded it. This end right here is the front door, and the reason why I know that, it has the sleeves at the end of the corners and the very top where you could add an extension, so you could do an awning or like a cook tent or some anything like that. And plus the Davis tent logo is right up front, so I identify that that's the front. So I'm going to roll this tent so then I can unroll it on the frame. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to unfold the whole thing because I don't want to get it on that frame, and then if I unroll it, I need to make sure I'm doing this the right way. So bear with me. Okay, this is the screen door. I believe it's called a Colorado door on this particular tent. All the tie down ropes. Okay, so I should have definitely unfolded it on the ground, because the way it's folded completely in half, like across the ridge. And typically how you would put a wall tent up the way I was just trying to do it, it works great as long as the ends are folded up and over, so the outside of the tent is actually getting folded on the inside, if that makes sense. So now I basically have the tent, this wall and that wall, completely sandwiched together. So I'm going to take it off and fold it together how you would typically do it when you're breaking down camp, so then it's ready to unfold it easily on the frame. So you under there? Yeah, so as you can tell, that's the way to do it. So if it's brand new, you want to take it out, fold it up, and then fold it back like inside out. So when you go to set it up on the frame, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right, Romy?
Yeah.
And don't forget to put these bad boys up. Okay. I know. not too bad. I mean, by yourself. I mean, Romy helped me, huh, Romy?
Yeah.
But so basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install the screen door, and then I'm gonna close the door, kick the legs inside a little bit, then install all the tie downs, then start anchoring it down, and then you place the legs back in their set position to give it that extra stretch and tightness. So, but you don't want to do that if your door's not zipped up all the way. The one thing I did forget to mention is the stove jack flap. If you're planning on using the stove jack, or if you need to tie the cover, you want to do that before you set it, before you put the legs in, just so you can reach it. Because now, if you don't have a ladder, it would be almost impossible to tie that up. So, but yeah, so far so good. Good quality for sure. Right off the get, just feeling it. It's good quality. I'll check out some more on the stitching and make sure all that is on point. But I mean, Davis Tent, they have really good reputation. So, but anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's go. Okay, so installing the screen door was honestly super easy. It's Velcro, so you just follow the Velcro strip and make sure it seals really good, and you're done. So I'm gonna zip up the front door, and then I'm gonna add all the anchors and the tie downs and get it nice and stretched and tight. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Alright, you guys, so with the tie down ropes, one end is the loose end, the other end already has a knot and has a tensioner. This is the part that you tie to all the grommets that are around the perimeter of the tent on the eave, and they included one for each grommet, and then for the corners there's two of these that you put in. So basically you feed this through the grommet, tie it, and you're ready to roll. Alright, you guys, got all the tie downs secured all the way, both sides. Okay, and then I didn't do it, and I'm not gonna do it right now, but see all those grommets on the ground? You have enough stakes to stake all of those in as well. Okay, all the way around the whole tent. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kicking the legs back out. They said to do that after you tie it down around the perimeter, and that gives it that extra stretch. I don't know if that's necessary. It's up to you, but that's what they recommend. To me, it just seems like it's kind of a pain in the butt to lift it up and put the skirt under it, unless you do that first and then you stretch it out. So I don't know, I'm just doing what they recommend on doing, and it just seems kind of a pain in the butt. But if that's what they recommend doing, I guess just do that, or I can figure out down the road if it's really worth it or not. But so far, man, this thing is awesome. It's spacious, really good quality. The stitching is really good. Corners are reinforced. You have the sleeves on the front. You have the sleeves so you could get the extension kit for an awning or a cooking area. But yeah, and you have the option to order doors on both ends of the tent. You could add additional windows, you could do all that stuff, but automatically comes with one window and the door. So just that alone, I feel like for ventilation purposes that would be plenty. We will primarily use this for late season elk hunt. So the way I looked at it was less holes in the wall, more warmth, or less holes in the tent. It'll help with the warmth. So that's why I think one window is plenty. But yeah, so these tents, you could also get them with a full size floor, 3/4. We went with the 3/4 just because I like the idea of having the first part right when you walk into the tent where you could put your boots and all that stuff so you don't leave them outside. If you were to like add like a cooking station covered area right outside, maybe that would make sense to get a full floor. I still think it's good to bring your boots in here and your wet clothes and all that, and just so they're not dripping on the heavy duty tarp, on the floor tarp. So yeah, that's what we went with, and I think it's a good move. Alright guys, I'm gonna tear this baby down. Obviously, pull all the stakes out, fold the sides up and over, fold the ends, fold the sides again, and then roll it on the ridge, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna time it. It's 3:20 right now, but I am gonna go get some gloves. I already cut myself those metal stakes. They got like quite a bit of metal shards like sticking out, and I cut myself pretty good, so wear gloves. I'm gonna start the timer for the official breakdown. I don't know if you can see it, but it's going. Let's go. Alright you guys, all done. It took, let me stop this, 18 minutes 6 seconds. So 18 minutes. Now I did not have the floor tarp put down, which is a 3/4 floor tarp, and I didn't have the wood stove installed. And the wood stove, I bet you it'll add 10 minutes or so. The kicker to that is you want to make sure that there's no hot coals in there, so when you're getting ready to tear it down, you know, think about that when you start that morning fire in there the day you're planning on tearing it down. And we don't have a rain tarp on the roof, which I do want to do that. So let's say 18 minutes. Let's say all that is going to add 10 minutes for the wood stove, 10 minutes for the rain tarp, another 20 minutes. So what is that? 38 minutes, 40 minutes to break down that tent. So there you have it. Oh, and to add to that, for one person. So with two people, you could easily cut that down in half. So that's very reasonable for how big of a tent this is. So thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, share the video with family and friends, hunting partners or whatever that are interested in a wall tent. And yeah, good luck to all you guys out there and gals chasing those critters around. Let's go.